Hey, this is Jamie. Welcome to another big idea. Took my inspiration this week from Two Door Cinema Club and their album last year called False Alarm. And here's the false alarm for you. Wait for it. Simon Sinek, Start With Why. You might be familiar with his TED Talk and his book. You might be familiar with Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where he talks about start with the end in mind, your purpose, your why, and everything that you do should be aligned to the why, to the bigger questions. Now, this is where I think it falls down, because for most of us, we're not in that headspace to be thinking about the why. So why don't we meet things exactly where we're at now, at the what level that isn't working very well? So start actually with the how, with what we're doing, and actually design our days differently, so those whats are better managed, better organized, things ticked off, things achieved, rather than going out and getting another job because you think the other one doesn't work very well, or ditching those projects that they're not working. Actually look at the process of how we're doing things first before we ditch the what's there. And by designing things differently, we're able to create more headspace and space for things that really matter. And then when we've got more space, we've got more time and headspace to start thinking about the whys and thinking those bigger picture things, and also those bigger whats, you know, the things you want to achieve, the goals, the objectives, the projects, etc. But more importantly, those bigger whys, they're not going to come until later, until we've got kind of some control over what's going on now. And by controlling those whats is by looking at the hows, and maybe spending less time in email, 3 times a day instead of 300 times, getting stuff out of our heads and writing it down, all these ideas, rather than things storing them all in our heads and them popping up at the wrong time. So a few ideas for you there, but the big thing is that false alarm potentially there with start with why for most of us is not always the case. I look forward to seeing you next time for another big idea. Cheers.